Good evening, namaste, adab, sat sri akal to all the viewers of the Shruti Dutt show, Inspiring Conversation on 10 News. So I bring this show to you to help you meet, very, very inspiring people so that we can get to know them and learn from their life and try to imbibe something that they leave for us, that they teach us, and include it in our own lives to become better human beings, better today than yesterday. So today it is my absolute honor and pleasure that my invitation has been accepted by Dr. Vijay Jolly. A little bit about him for those who still want to know. I'm sure everybody knows him. He is an international figure, but still, I will just tell you that he is a distinguished Indian politician, a senior leader of the BJP, known for his dedication and charismatic leadership. He has significantly contributed to India's growth, I would say, because we are not talking party politics here. We are talking nation and Indian, growth of the whole country. Serving as an MLA in the Delhi Legislative Assembly, Dr. Jolly focused on development, public policy, constituent services. Beyond politics, he is actively involved in social and cultural initiatives, promoting education, healthcare, and Indian heritage globally. His efforts in fostering international relations and representing our country on global platforms have made him a respected figure in both national and international political arenas. And as far as I know him, I have seen him do absolute dedicated work. I've been fortunate enough to be living in somewhere near his area. So I'm kind of in his aura, in his air. So for me, Dr. Vijay Jolly, you may not know this, but it was, I think, around 2007. You must have been an MLA at that time. I was not even aware that you were the MLA. At that time, I was not. I was too involved with my own children. I'm a mother of three, grandmother to three. So, but I used to do at my own small level social work in this colony called Sangam Vihar. So I used to go to meet the children, help them, educate them, teach them cleanliness. And there one day I saw a group of men walking down the streets of Sangam Vihar. And I asked them, who is this? And they said, Vijay Jolly ji is going on his rounds. So normally, I was quite impressed. And I said, politicians of that level, do they actually go on foot to these kind of streets? Because the normal understanding what people have, and a lot of people think that once you're elected, you're sitting in the AC office. You know, after that, you don't have time to really go down into the streets, meet people. But I have seen you do it. And so I would, and you also call yourself a foot soldier, which I think is describes you perfectly. So I would like you to tell me a little bit about this to begin our show. What inspires you to be so motivated, so dedicated? What is it in you that, because nobody is really telling you to do that, I'm sure it's all self motivated. So where does that energy come from? That every evening you're out talking to people, finding out their problems, trying to solve them. How do you do that?
First of all, let me thank you, Dr. Shruti Dutt, for having invited me for this talk show on TEN, 10,
10 years.
10, and being recorded from Toronto, Canada.
Yes.
To you, I wish to put on record my deep appreciation to all the viewers in the Canadian hemisphere as well as in the Indian hemisphere um, through Facebook Live and streaming live this program in many countries of the world. My motivation is my strong determination and the great education which was imparted to me with the hard work of my parents. Though they are no more in this world, my father played a very catalyst role in fashioning my education in my early years of life. While in school, and later on in Delhi University. With a dedicated critical eye of my father, I happened to top the All India Senior Secondary School examination in whole of the country in the year 1977, and I was 18th in the All India merit list. So that
Absolutely awesome. Yes.
ensured my smooth passage into one of the best commerce educational institution of Delhi University, which is termed as Shriram College of Commerce and main Delhi University campus. And from there onwards, on the first day of my university admission, while I was coming back home to catch a double decker number 6 from Morris Nagar Chowk, Delhi University campus, over to Tilak Nagar, because I used to live in a 40 square yard house at that time in Janakpuri, I suddenly heard some noises on the loudspeaker, and there were some fairy speeches by young political leaders of the Delhi University of that time. I slowly, steadily left the bus stop, went over to that big tent where the students were delivering speeches from the rostrum. And the first speech, which motivated me then as a young student, was "Ghas kaisi bhi ho, chashma hara hona chahiye." Whatever may be the color of the grass, your specs should be green. And that enabled me to that gentleman of that era, who is now one of the top Indian TV owner and anchor, named Mr. Rajat Sharma of the India TV fame. And the second person whom I came across then and there was Mr. Vijay Goyal, who later on became the president of the Delhi University Students' Union and was also a minister in the Vajpayeeji's government at the center. And of these two, the third person, who was very handsome, wearing a leather jacket and black goggles, he asked me, "What's your name?" I said, "Vijay Jolly." "Which college?" I said, "Shriram College of Commerce." "What percentage?" I said, 82.5. "What course?" I said, "Commerce." And without my asking what his name was, he very stylishly and arrogantly said, "I am Arun Jaitley." And he walked away.
Oh,
But on the third day of my college sojourn, a
yes.
RSS Pracharak named Mr. Indresh Kumar, who is now around 74 years young, he came to my class and he asked, "Who is Vijay Jolly?" I was so happy that on the third day itself in the college, I was being recognized by someone. And he took me to the college canteen for my first lesson in nationalism and patriotism. So, with a good parents, a strict parenthood, a good college, a good percentage, got me over entangled in 1977 with the then nationalist, patriotic Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. And later on in the years, I was given the chance to contest the Delhi University Students' Union elections, first as the General Secretary, which of course I won, and then later on in 1980, when the Congress led by Mrs. Gandhi had made a comeback as the Prime Minister and the ruling party, and from the opposition Saffron Brigade called Janta Vidyarthi Morcha, a name alike of the Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad, the largest and the immensely popular student organization of India, I happened to become the popularly elected president of Delhi University Students' Union. And that's my first and foremost connectivity to the politics of the day through the student Union days.
Wonderful. But jaldi jaldi cheti cheti aage jete hain. Let's go back. So I really want to know, like, school time, you said you were disciplined, hardworking student, more focused on studies. So during the school days itself, which school did you go to?
Initially, I was in Sister of Charities Holy Child School, which
Yes.
later on became a girls' um, convent. And then I had to take admission by skipping two classes, getting through the school examinations, and I entered senior secondary government school number 2, Tilak Nagar. And later
Wonderful.
on, I became the prime minister of the school parliament. I was a good debater. I was a poet. I staged many one acts, and my one act at school was on Shaheed Uddham Singh.
Yeah, so the seeds of patriotism and leadership were right there in the school, I'm sure. So this is what I want to hear about. So because the way we grow up, the kind of atmosphere we are in during school days, I think that really impacts our character throughout our lives. So, tell me something more about your teachers. Like, what were they like, and what sort of feelings do you have for them still? Because this is one thing, which I feel the student teacher relationship these days is not the same as it used to be in our times, because the students these days are not revering their gurus as much as we used to, and there is a gap, in that beautiful guru shirishya parampara that we had in India, which needs to be revived all over again. So it would be nice if you could, go back and just tell me something about your teachers and what you learned from them at the school level first.
I was very poor in mathematics, but my one teacher who taught me very friendly and who was very diligent on my mathematics improvement was one Mr. Nanak Chand, who used to come and teach me after school hours also. Another teacher was
Free
Mr.
of
Arora.
cost? Free of
Pardon?
cost? Free of
No,
cost?
well, I used to have a tuition from him
Okay.
because he was hugely popular and it was hard to catch him. But since I was good in English at school due to my previous background in Sister of Charities Holy Child, so in the
Right.
government school, I was just like a young budding hero. So he said, I will take up this challenge to teach you mathematics. And Nanak Chandji taught me the extreme intricacies of mathematics, as well as one Mr. Arora, who was another teacher of mine who taught me geometrical um, combinations and permutations. So all these helped me to have a distinction. First in eighth class, in it used to be a high school examination conducted at the board level, and then in 11th class, which was again a board level examination, um, the hard work of my teachers, and especially one Mr. VP Jain, who was my English teacher in the senior secondary government school. These three teachers played a very catalyst role. And of course, the principal of the school, he had a special liking for me. And because in the school parliament, I was again elected as the prime minister of the school parliament, and in the inter-college, inter-school debates in
Debates.
English, I came second to one of a girl students who later on became a senior lecturer in Jesus and Mary College. So my school days are a very happy learning, but whenever I met my teachers, I would immediately bow down, touch their feet, seek their blessings, because this was the first lesson which my parents had taught me. Be obedient to your teachers, follow them what they tell you, and your future will be made. So, whatever I am today in a humble way, I attribute my business acumen, my political acumen, my speaking skills, my global connectivity, and also first as a student leader, then as a young political leader, and then later on as an elected lawmaker in the Delhi government, having visited 93 countries up till now, all over the globe, promoting the concept of nationalism, promoting the concept of patriotism. I own whatever I am today to the great teacher and taught relationship of my great teachers at school.
Yes, absolutely. Our Indian culture focuses a lot on the blessings of our gurus, parents, and I see that, you know, and that is how you can really move forward in life. Without that, I think no matter how much hard work you do, and it's all over the world. It's not just here. When we have blessings of our elders and the people that we are with, it works wonders for us. So, also, I see you a lot with your mother-in-law, and I have seen the kind of respect you give her, the kind of love she has for you. So apart from being a successful businessman, a leader, because I said this interview has to be about you. So I'm coming back to basics. So I see you as a person who is really a good family man, who has that kind of and you're a father also. So tell me something about your family, and since your father put in these, values in you, you must have done that to your sons also, I'm sure. And how difficult was it to raise those children with all your, pressures of work, and what kind of time you could give them, or are still being able to give them, or is it left to your wife to take care of them? What is it like? What is the, how do you manage your personal and work responsibilities?
Incidentally, during my college days, I met my better half, Rashmi Gupta, while I was doing my master's in commerce from South Delhi campus. She never used to like me because I was always surrounded by young boys and girls. And but later on, we clicked, and I did a business stint with a mother, who in later years became my mother-in-law. So it was my wife whom I met at college, not knowing that eventually we would fall in for each other. But well, of course, it was arranged with the families. But I had the major time of my life, apart from my political spectrum, was establishing an export business in close conjunction with my mother-in-law, who became widow at the age of 42 years.
Oh,
Her husband died in a road accident after they came back from Fiji Islands with no source of income. I was studying with Rashmi in South Delhi campus. I came in close contact with the family after the demise of her father, and we joined hand together in some small tirades. We ran a ARST college canteen. We got out of it, and then we got into export of Indian merchandise, starting off from Fiji Islands in the South Pacific. And in the second or third year, we were able to lump in big export orders for Indian merchandise. And later on, we graduated to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Australia,
wonderful. So you
Malaysia.
so you kind of top the business world with your exports, because you know once a topper, always a topper. Right?
We worked hard. We
Worked
were not
hard.
the leaders, but we worked hard carrying
Yes, I'm sure you
samples.
must have worked hard, and that was a time for exporters, I think, because we've also been in exports during that time, and there were a lot of good government facilities for exporters at that time. So it was a good time to be in exports, I think.
But
But
as my business export partner, my
yes,
mother-in-law revered and respected Mrs. Kusum Gupta. She
okay,
used to go all around the world with me to get export orders. She
wonderful,
would not allow me to sleep. She would not allow me to eat, but always pestering me. Fix up the appointments,
move forward.
locate the customers. We have come overseas not to relax or not to enjoy the luxuries, but to extract the business, which is a prime purpose. So, more than 40 years, I crossed various parts of the globe along in the close association of my mother in law, who also taught me don't promise a moon which you can't deliver.
Wonderful.
We adopted that strategy in our business. And I also adopted that strategy when I was elected as a politician and as a lawmaker for Sangam Bihar and Devli, where you saw me incidentally walking on the streets even after getting elected, because I wanted to have the first hand feel of the people's problems. But my
Absolutely.
mother in law has a great role in fashioning me. She said, don't speak a lie, because politicians are known to speak lies. I
Yeah.
speak lie only 5% to keep my wife happy. Otherwise, 95% I love to speak the truth. So the lady in question is now 85 years young, but
Yeah.
I still take care of her. We live together with her, my father, my mother in law, my wife, and my two sons, who went for the higher studies in Boston, in America, and in New South Wales, in Sydney. And both of them, after their higher studies, came back to India because India is now 24 into 7, 24 hours into 7 days, and they wanted to be a part of India's success story. So they now run my export business. We have expanded not twice, but 4 times after they came over, because all during my lifetime, my one feet was in business and another feet was in politics. And with the diversions here and there, I was always disturbed.
I'm
But
sure.
with both the sons taking over, I feel at ease, globetrotting, taking the ideology, taking the development policies of my Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi, all over the world is my great endeavor. And that suits my character, my thought process, and my working ethology.
Yes, we'll come to that. That you've been a global ambassador, and you have also made friends with people in 156 nations, and you were able to bring the water of so many rivers and so many nations to do the Jal Abhishek in Ram Mandir. अब मैंने बोल ही दिया तो इसी की बात कर लेते हैं, then we'll go back to college later if we have the time. So recently also you took a group of NRIs. I think you've just come back from Ayodhya. Am I right?
Yes.
So ये जो आप कर रहे हो, like tell the viewers about your thought process behind it. Why did you do it? And you, I also see you gifting the replica of Ram Mandir to all these presidents. You know, and what is your mission in that? What do you intend to achieve out of that?
You see, in 1992, I accompanied the then dynamic BJP president and the praneta and the leader of the Shri Ram Janambhoomi Liberation Committee led by Mr. L.K. Advani. I was at that spot in Ayodhya when that whole disputed structure was demolished. I know all the intricacies, what happened, how it happened, and how 200,000 people converged in Ayodhya on that day in 1992, 6th December. But when I saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 5th August 2020, laying the foundation stone of the Ayodhya Ram Mandir after a unanimous verdict of the Supreme Court of India, allowing the Hindus to construct a grand Ayodhya Ram Lala temple in Ayodhya, that I just thought within my own conscience how I could contribute to this noble grand structure which is coming up in Ayodhya. And by that time, the corona had set in. People could not travel from one country to another. But with my global contacts intact, since I had the privilege of leading the Bharatiya Janata Party before 2014 for donkey long years as the convener of the overseas affairs of the then largest opposition party of India, the BJP. I had extensive contacts world over. I was instrumental in putting the BJP chapters in more than 45 countries of the globe, which totaled to 47. And in 2020, I embarked on this dedication, the decision. I will procure the pure water of oceans and rivers from all the 7 continents of the world. And during a span of 31 months, I managed to get the water from all parts of the globe, including the eventual one from Uzbekistan, which was the birthplace of Mughal Emperor Babur, after whose name the Babri Masjid got, or Babri structure got named in Ayodhya. Even from his birthplace, a river called Kashak Darya Nadi, one of my Muslim friends, Mr. Taj Muhammad, who got the pure water of Kashak Darya Nadi for the eventual Jal Abhishek of the Ayodhya Ram Mandir, which was performed on 23rd April 2023 in the august presence of non-resident Indians from 41 countries of the globe, with many ambassadors, high commissioners, dignitaries, sadhus, saints, all led by Mr. Champat Rai,
I
who is
think
the General Secretary
it's
of Ayodhya
it's
Ram Mandir.
almost like a world record, I believe, what you have done. But tell me what is your intention behind it? Okay, countries से ले आए इतना सारा जल अभिषेक कर दिया, replica दे दिया, उसका असर क्या होगा? What do you think? Like, and you just mentioned your Muslim friend. So this is what I would like to talk about, because in a democracy like India, I really feel that we need to protect these friendships and increase them, because in India, when we say Bharat, it is not just Hindus, it is Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, everybody, all of us, like, we have grown up together. And this wave of antagonism that comes in sometimes, and especially when too much of fanatism is being practiced by any of the religions, I would not say just Hindu, Muslim, or any, it becomes kind of a force that makes creates disparities among people. It's a problem for humanism, because if you are going to look at only do look after only one kind of children, because I'm I call a lot of people call me Dilli wali nani, and my whole focus goes back to children. So when a child is born, he is innocent, he is pure, he is taught all these disparities as he grows up. So if you put a whole lot of children together from different religions, they'll have a ball of a time. They'll play, they'll share, they'll do everything. It's the parents, it's the people who are teaching them, "Usse baat mat karo, aise mat karo," and that is because of a lack of trust. And personally, like, my grandfather came, he suffered the partition, he came from Lahore, he missed a lot of his Muslim friends, they were very dear to him. And I grew up in a, like, I was born Brahmin, but I got married, I was taken to a Gurudwara, I was taught in Christian schools, and I have a few Muslim friends, but not as many as I would want, but there are there, and they're such wonderful, everybody is wonderful. And every religion, Jolly, speaks of peace. इस्लाम का तो मतलब ही पीस होता है, ठीक है. We talk of सत्य, that वासुदेव कुटुंबकम. Christians talk of doing good deeds for others, kindness, love. गुरुद्वारे में तो लंगर खिला देते बिना किसी भेदभाव के, गुरु नानक ने तो पांचों जो 5 प्यारे थे, वो अलग अलग रिलीजन्स के बुला के, उन्होंने अलग अलग कास्ट के बुला के बनाए थे, नॉट रिलीजन्स बट कास्ट. So every guru, every religion talks of peace, love, kindness. But then the same religion disputes come in, and that leads to hatred instead of love. So, so this, when you are giving the replica, how is it received? Is it received as a symbol of global love, of global kindness, and global humanism? And do you think you will be able to, give that, or are people looking at it as more Sanatani only, and you know that kind of thing?
You see, my inspiration for this whole one act was,
Yeah.
of course, the inspiration drawn from the revered octogenarian L.K. Advani, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the late International President Ashok Singhal, of course, the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and of course, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in whose time the unanimous verdict of the Supreme Court paved the way for a grand Ayodhya Ram temple.
Yes.
Ram or Ram Rajya is not only Sanatan, it considers the world to be one great family. There are 30 million Indians living overseas.
Yes.
They limit 125 US dollars billion investments into India. And Indians, not only in India, but all over the globe, they were yearning for the last 500 years because they considered Ayodhya to be a sacred place where Ram, Lord Ram or Ram Lala was born. And if that mandir came over there, it means, it denotes peace, it denotes tranquility, it denotes prosperity, it denotes development, and it also denotes the concept of this world is one great family.
Yes.
When I got the water from 156 countries of the world, the Sikhs from Toronto and Vancouver, led by Professor Azad Kaushik, collected the water from Canada and they sent us over. The Buddhist community collected the water from Tibet. The Jews, led by Rina Pushkarna, collected the water from Israel. Taj Muhammad collected the water from Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. The Christians collected the water from Denmark, Norway, and other places. The friends from Guyana, they collected the water from the ethnic Guyana waterways, not only in Guyana or also from Trinidad and other places. What I wish to say, in our endeavor, when I wanted to get the water from Pakistan, I was said, Jolly ji, हम कुछ भी भेज सकते हैं, पाकिस्तान से आपको रावी दरिया का जल अयोध्या राम मंदिर के लिए नहीं भेज सकते. And do you know who told me this? Ramesh Vakwani, a member of parliament of the Pakistan parliament. And when I asked him why, he said, because if the other community knows, मेरा सर मेरे शरीर से कलाम कर दिया जाएगा. And I told him then, there is no word by the no in Dr. Vijay Jolly's dictionary. I still collected the water from Sindh without divulging the names. I got the water from Pakistan to Dubai and from Dubai to India. So this intolerance, why? Why one religion says, if you don't believe in a religion, you are kafir. And what has to be done to a kafir? Behead him. The Hinduism has never taught those concepts. It has taught everyone whom you could shake hands, we consider him to be a Hindu. And this is the reason why we always say, whether it is Hindus, whether it is Muslims, whether it is Christians, whether it is Jews, whether it is Buddhists, whether it is Sikhs, whether it is Jainis, all are part
One.
and parcel of this great Vasudev Kutumbakam. This world is one big family. And I think I have done a great job in that score, and I'm proud of it. I feel blessed. On my recent trip to around 10 countries of the world in the South Pacific, including in the Caribbean, I presented a Ayodhya Ram Mandir replica to the president of Guyana, respected Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, a devout Muslim. I
Yes.
presented the Ayodhya Ram Mandir replica to Chandrika Prasad Chand Santoki, the Honorable President of Suriname, with all the feelings that this Ayodhya Ram Mandir replica should bring in peace, prosperity, development to their governments as well as to the citizens who are of diverse religions and culture. So, whatever you may believe in, I'm a Hindu and I'm proud to be a Hindu. I've spoken in international conferences where my Muslim friends feel proud that they are Muslim. So I tell them, if you are proud to be a Muslim, if you are proud to be a Christian, Dr. Vijay Jolly is proud to be a Hindu of my Hindu historical heritage. And there is nothing bad about it, because I am only talking about compassion, friendship, understanding, and great preservance, tolerance for each other. This is what has been taught in the Hindu Dharma or the Sanatan Dharma. I am not talking about people who might be hardliners. Of course, there are hardliners and softliners in every religion of the world, but we, after a good educational background, with whatever the God has given us in our life, we feel blessed if we could spread goodwill, prosperity, good vibrations by word of mouth or by word of actions. I think we will be doing a service to the humanity which has given us birth in recent times.
Absolutely. And I think it is not important just to be doing good, but it is also important to stop the negativities. And I'm glad you so openly have shared about this person who said that he cannot send you the water. So, in return, I think we should definitely send him some prasad and some water from the Saryu. That might make a difference to his life, because it's high time. I mean, we are a global village, and I thought that after the corona, we will all become one, and we will understand that humanitarianism is the religion for the future. If we have to all survive happily and prosper happily all over the world, but somehow that doesn't seem to be happening. And today I was very concerned. Like, here it was 4 a.m. I got up and I got this news about the bombing going, the bomb, like hoax or whatever it is, the mails that have come to the Delhi schools today. And the mail that was read out was also, a thing about jihad and all these things. And it's not true that, all the Muslims are not there in it. We have Muslims in our army. I have been with the Muslims. So they are not all with that. But the thing is that everybody is getting labeled because of such acts of these terrorists, or that group of people who behave like that. So I think it's high time that the Muslim community themselves got together, and along with the help of all other communities, actually face these groups. I mean, why should a leader be scared of being beheaded for accepting a goodwill, behavior from another leader? That should not be the case. So all this fear of getting beheaded, all this fear of bombs, we all have to stand up with courage against it, and we all have to speak up. And I think all the good Muslims, the people of Islam who want to be, who believe in peace, they must come up and talk more about it. Because that's the only way I feel some kind of balance will be created. I don't know what I'm saying is right or wrong. I think you can put a light on that. Jaliji, what are your thoughts about this?
You see, I have never felt um, uncomfortable working with the friends or even people who do not believe in my ideology from other religions in India. My best friend in politics have been two great Muslim young politicians, Sayyid Shahnawaz Hussain, who was a union minister, and another Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. We never thought that they were Muslims and I was a Hindu. But
Yes.
if they were proud to be Muslims, I was proud to be a Hindu.
Yes.
So the need of the hour is to spread the message of brotherhood.
Absolutely.
If on Diwali day they come over, they greet me. On the Eid, I also go over and greet them. But the problem lies when Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was the Prime Minister of India, he took a Lahore bus yatra with my one another great leader who influenced my life, the evergreen Indian film star Devananda, to Lahore in quest for peace, in
Yes.
shaking hands with the then Nawaz Sharif government to have a good, friendly relation as between India and Pakistan. India was later on gifted with the Kargil war, intrusion into the Indian high Elacon of the Himalayas. And we had a bloody Kargil war in which many soldiers from both sides of the fence, they lost their lives. The mothers lost their sons.
Yes.
Later on, Mr. Narendra Modi visited again Pakistan in its quest for peace while traveling from Afghanistan on an impromptu visit. But then Balakot and airstrikes into India, terrorists coming over to India and doing the Mumbai attack. And the world knows our neighborhood has been a fountainhead of spreading terrorism, but we tell them today India has emerged as the fifth largest economic world power. Today,
Absolutely.
India, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, was even given this honor of leading the G20, the most prosperous nations of the world, led by America, Canada, Germany, France, and a host others. Where India is today and where Pakistan is today. There,
True.
the people are even yearning, struggling to get a small wheat flour for their evening chapatis at their home. And India is progressing. So the need of the hour is compassion, brotherhood, understanding each other,
Yes.
respecting each other's sentiments, and having a friendly relationship. So that only then what we spend on our defense budget outlays, that could be diverted over to more highways, to more hospitals, to more schools, to more colleges, to more employment opportunities for the younger generation. And this is the reason why India is 24 into 7 on the path of peace, progression, and development led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And he is now going to be in his third tenure, and we are soon going to have the Indian parliamentary elections. I'm not saying because I'm a BJP worker or a foot soldier, but this is the feedback what we get from all over the globe, from the non-resident Indians, as well as the majority of the even the BJP supporters or even the Congress supporters. They also concede under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India will progress more in its third term also. And I'm sure the need of the hour is terrorist and the concept of terrorism have to be banished. India becomes a permanent member of the Security Council of the UN, and
I've lost you.
peaceful India
Mm.
would progress together hand
Yes.
in hand with the global powers. I also
Abs-
wish to mention we want friendly relations with Canada. I have so much of my friend circle staying in Winnipeg, in Toronto, in Vancouver, and in various parts of Canada. And I consider Canada to be a fantastic, beautiful country. Our business connections, our political connections, our historical connections, our Hindu and Sikh connections between India and Canada need to be strengthened, not to be taken aside by one isolated incident on which India and Canada do not see eye to eye.
Absolutely. I think it is very important that the power of love, the message of love which you are actually trying to give, which I see it like doing these replicas and meeting everybody and talking about the temple and inviting everybody, being a host to all the people who want to visit the temple. So this is, I think, absolutely the power of love that needs to be increased instead of the love of power, because that's the only way we will have, world peace, if we focus more on the power of love rather than the love of power, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I was coming to, and I think your efforts and this whole thing, of course, there is no doubt that we have progressed a lot under the BJP leadership, and I wish them all the best again, always. But at the same time, there is a whole group of people who have these doubts about that BJP is leading to more, they're becoming very authoritarian, they're going to be like Hitler and things like that. And those kind of things might happen. So there is this another field that is, making
Shruti,
talk. Yeah.
please understand who are hurling these allegations. The Congress party leaders, the Rahul Gandhi. Sorry, I didn't want to touch the politics, but in 1975, emergency was imposed by the same political outfit and its leader.
Yes.
So they are saying that we are authoritarian in India. The judiciary is free, the political system is free, the business is free, the banking system is free. Today, imagine there are 51 crore bank accounts opened by the poor people in India. 21 crore people who are kisans, who are farmers. 6,000 rupees subsidy is going directly into their account without going through the intermediaries. There were only 4 All India Institute of Medical Sciences hospitals in India. Now there are 24 hospitals of the caliber of All India Institute of Medical Sciences. There were 79 airports before. There are 152 airports in the country. Whatever development has taken place, people are not fools who have first given the mandate to the Prime Minister Modi in 2014, second mandate in 2019, and the third mandate will come on 4th June 2024, because development, everyone of each and every shade of opinion, they make the best use of it. But who are making these false allegations are the same set of people who were accused of corruption, who were accused of suspending the primary rights of the Indian citizens by imposing emergency in India in 1975. And it was Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the Congress leader. I did not want to rake up this issue, but since this issue, you did mention that the BJP is termed as authoritarian. No, if you don't feel good with the BJP, if you don't feel good with the CBI, if you don't feel good with the political system, anyone can approach the court of law. The lower judiciary, the High Court, the Supreme Court, it is the same leadership of the BJP which during Corona pandemic distributed 99 countries of the world free corona vaccines. 3 corona doses were administered to 135 crore Indians free of cost. Which
Absolutely.
which which government of the day could have managed to fill up the aspirations of his such a large number of its citizens? So I feel very perturbed when false allegations are hurled against us. But I also salute the people of India, the citizens of India, the electorate of India, which with its decisive mandate comes out what they feel is correct for India to follow.
Yes, absolutely. It's important to actually focus on the growth and the prosperity and the oneness of the country. That is, I think, the unified growth together. These are the things which we really need to look at, and we have been looking at them, and that's why the progress has happened. We've been to the moon and back. We're going to the Mars next. Everything is going to happen, and let's leave this here and let's talk about Devananji. Let's make it a little lighter. So I understand that your Josh is there as a BJP stalwart, and you have been in the party since 1980, since its inception, And I really regard and respect you for being authentic and staying and not, shifting parties like we see most politicians do. And that is the only reason that I decided to invite you for my show. You're the first political leader I have thought of, having an interaction with. Otherwise, nobody else has so far inspired me to do that. So on that note, let's go back to Devanandji. I had, uh, witnessed a program that you did for Devanandji's 50th anniversary, and you spoke a lot about the little things you learned from Devanandji. ऑफ कोर्स उनका तो वो गाना है ना, नफरत करने वालों के सीने में प्यार भर दो, तो वो तो एक होना ही चाहिए. दैट शुड बी आवर मिशन एज लीडर्स, एज पीपल, एज इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, कि नफरत को तो हटाना ही है दिलों से, दुनिया से. बट उसके अलावा आपने उनसे क्या क्या सीखा, हमारे दर्शकों को बताइए. लेट्स शेयर
I
दैट
met
विद व्यूअर्स.
I met the evergreen Indian film star, Mr. Devanand, who acted in more than 100 movies in the year 1978, when I was the General Secretary of the Delhi University Students' Union. And after my meeting with him, he said, please follow my 3 commandments. I was a young political student leader. I looked at him with empty eyes and stony looks. He said, when you get up in the morning, the trajectory should be from your bedroom to your bathroom, then to your drawing room. And then he could understand that it did not go into my head. And then he explained. He said, Mr. Jolly, you have miles to go, and I'm sure you will go. He said, when you will get up in the morning from your bedroom, you will go to the bathroom, you will brush yourself, you will wash yourself, you will shave yourself, you will bath yourself, and then you will dress up in your best clothes by putting some perfume all around. And then when you will go to the drawing room, not only the people who love your company, but even people who detest you from your looks, they will feel endeavored to connect with you. Right up till today, I get up very early in the morning and I follow the same trajectory. Even while I was an MLA, if people were to come at 8 o'clock to meet the lawmaker in Scenic Farm, the poor people of Sangam Bihar, Devli, and all adjoining colonies, if they have to come at 8 o'clock, I would be fully decked up waiting for them at 15 minutes before 8 o'clock in my office, in my residence in Scenic Farm. And the second commandment which he gave me during that first meeting was, speak positive, hear positive, breathe positive. और अगर दिल भी तेरा धड़के तो वो भी जॉली पॉजिटिव धड़कना चाहिए. You can try that. When you get up in the morning, if you start doing everything positive, the whole day you will be successful in every sphere of life what you try your hand. And you try in the morning. If I start criticizing Dr. Shruti Dutt in the morning, whole during the day, my whole persona will be only with the negative thoughts.
Yes. So beautiful. Let's just enlist that for the viewers, especially the youth. Wake up early, have your bath, get dressed, smell good. He said use a perfume, remember? Smell good, think positive, speak positive, see positive, and work positive, right? And the world will be.
Then the third commandment which he said.
Oh yes. That
always feel young.
Yes.
Interact with the young. Yes. Engage with the young.
And I like that statement. Tera dil bhi dhadke to positive bhi dhadkne dena. That's really nice.
So this is the reason. This is the reason, Shruti, why I always say, मैं कल भी 25 साल का था, मैं आज भी 25 साल का हूं और मैं कल भी 25 साल का रहूंगा. People ask me, what is your age? I say, I feel 25. What is your problem? Because I was 25 yesterday, I'm 25 years today, and I shall be 25 years tomorrow. And this is the concept which motivates me day in and day out. But I feel so cool, calm, and whatever I try to do, I do it with that feeling of freshness, youngness, and the heart brimming with confidence. My one challenge is, and I tell my party people, if you think someone does not like me, someone detests me, give me the assignment to work with him. After 6 months, either he will become my admirer or vice versa, I will become his admirer. But you will never get a chance to complain because it is all about human psychology, human tendencies, human words, and the words which Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the former Prime Minister of India, told me: be careful with your words. Your one word can befriend someone, and your one word can turn a friend into a foe, an enemy. So be careful with your words. Rehearse your words before you say those words. Those words can act like a rose flower, and those words can also act as a machine gun. Don't pierce the soul of others with the power of your words. The power of your words should shower love, compassion, joy. And Vijay Jolly stands for his namesake. When I became the president of the Delhi University Students' Union in 1980, I would campaign extensively among 250,000 boys and girls studying in various colleges of Delhi University with one slogan: my name is Vijay Jolly. You make me Victor, and I will make you jolly. So
Wow.
remember Vijay Jolly. And I
Yes, your
became
name definitely is very interesting, and I think Shakespeare ने तो कह दिया था what's in a name, but I think there's a lot in a name because as far as you're concerned, definitely I've always seen you smiling and looking jolly, and कुछ भी हो जाए, उम्र की बात नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम्स की बात नहीं, कोई भी ठोकरें लगी हो जिंदगी में, बट एक जिद है जीतने की, एक विजय प्राप्त करने की जो आप में नजर आती है. Or I wish you all the best. I think I can go on and on. We can have another session definitely together. There's so many more things I would like to ask you and discuss with you. But I think we should wind off now. And thank you so much for coming on the show. And like आपने वाजपेयी जी का नाम लिया तो वो मेरी उनकी एक बात याद आती है मुझे कि वो कहते थे कि अच्छे इंसानों को याद रखना नहीं पड़ता, वो भूलते, वो आपके जहन से कभी भूल भूल नहीं सकते आप उनको. एंड आई थिंक यू आर वन ऑफ दोज. आई एम सो ग्लैड दैट आई could I hope a lot of people have realized the kind of person you are, the good human being you are at heart, and you are also it's a great news to know that our politicians are also great human beings who work really hard, and they are definitely responsible for the comforts that we have in our homes. They are walking on the streets doing a lot of things behind the scenes which we don't realize. And so all those people who have this in their mind, I would like them to just wipe that out from their minds, that they do nothing. And I think politicians are the easy target for people to blame, but it's high time that we started thinking about it in a better way, retrospecting and wondering what we are doing, whereas they are doing so many things for us. And are we making going to be making the right choices? We don't even think enough to make the right choice. We do not even worry about who to elect. So this is a time to really put that thinking, your thinking mind, and check out whoever your candidates are, see who will do the best for the society, and then go out there and vote. A lot of states have already finished voting, but voting has to happen in Delhi, and I hope everybody will you know look into the person who is going to be taking charge, and not just the promises, because as your mother-in-law rightly said, a lot of lies and a lot of false promises come your way. We should be able to discern what is the, you know, lie and where the truth is, and go with the truth always. So on that note, thank you so much, Dr. Vijay Jolly. I really enjoyed the show. I hope you did too. And lots of love to everybody who is watching, the viewers. I will come back to you with another show very soon. And I hope this talk has given you some great incentives, especially, you know, his persona itself, waking up early, dressing up well, talking to the people, full of love, being humble, you know, staying put there in whatever you have decided on. So many qualities have come through, which I think if the youth really look into this show, they will be able to imbibe a lot of good things. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. I feel blessed. Thank you to you, to your family, and to your viewers also. Jai
Thank you
Hind,
so
Jai
much.
Bharat.
आपको एक बात बताना चाहूंगी, मेरे दोनों बच्चे बड़े वाले SRCC से ही पढ़े हैं, एंड तो बड़ा अच्छा सा कनेक्ट फील हो रहा था. बट एक, बिफोर वी लीव द शो, वन मोर थिंग व्हिच आई रियली वांटेड टू आस्क यू, why only one SRCC? Isn't it time we had more? Because there's so many DPSs, so many other colleges. Why not SRCC all over the country? We need, you know, good colleges. We need students like Rajat ji, Vijay Goyal ji, you, everybody, you know, turning into leaders in our own institutes. Why do our students have to keep going abroad? So ये तो बहुत लंबा topic हो जाएगा. But this is what I really wanted to ask you, that